I'm thinking it's upstairs by my bed, but all right. Let's do a recap. Beginning of last session, which I don't even know when the hell that was, but you guys started off on the blasphemous path on the way back to Iron Ridge from the Harpy Nest. You guys went back to Iron Ridge, healed up the best you could. You took the small little Ratatosk girl's body back along with Sid, who was not doing very well either. He looked like he was just kind of completely out of it. But he took him back there to the inn where the proprietor, Ginny, set up and took care of him and kind of took care of all the other crap that you guys weren't doing at the time. And then you decided what to do from there, and you figured asking around the best way or the best place to go as far as looking for a portal back to Sigil or somewhere to get out of this area you were in was to head north into the realm of the Norns, into the what they call the World Ash or Yggdrasil, the huge, massive, world-spanning tree. You guys headed north in that case, which I did send a map over today that kind of shows the path you were taking up through the mountains and then across this great, big, expansive field. What am I supposed to, like, field lands, basically, meadows. You came across a massive walking castle with an old man who lived inside of it. What was his name? I don't remember at the moment.
Bird.
Yes. Actually, he had several names, but he preferred whatever one you would happen to call him at the time. Hung out with him for a bit. He was looking for the Costa, these lizard folk people, and along with some of the Circean embers that he had mixed in with his tobacco and smoked. But he seemed to be highly addicted to the stuff and was hoping that all of you would know something about these creatures and where they would go or some way for him to find them, as he was looking for more of this potent liquid. Didn't really give him too much information, but you did ride with him in his castle all the way up to the Norn lands before basically jumping ship and getting out of there. Seda made friends with some small little monkeys who hung out with her for a bit. Sorry. Yeah, all right. Let's see. From there, you left him behind as he was taking off. The castle was kind of crumbling around and different things were happening there. But you went up into the Norn lands, up into the great world Ash, Yggdrasil. And the forest here was significantly large. Everything, the deeper and deeper you went into the forest, the larger things became, to where leaves were just huge, spanning canopies over top of you. And you found yourself up along a branch that you were able to basically walk all the way around. It was just there was gravity beneath you, so you could walk on the underside of the branches just as easily as the top. And you followed what looked to be some sort of animal path or path that has been traveled for at least some time. Down through, you came to a crack in the, or a crook, I guess would be a split in the tree branch. To the right, it led off into the distance where there was this huge shimmering portal, and the branch disappeared into the portal. Zan, you looked into that and could tell that you couldn't tell exactly where it led or what it was, but you had the feeling it was somewhere that was a bit corrupted or not quite right. The other branch where it split off went down into the nook of the tree where you could see that there was a small, it looked like maybe a hamlet village size of maybe 700-800 people. Nothing huge, but a decent little area. And people bustling about. It was nestled right in against the trunk of Yggdrasil, this huge, massive tree. And so some of the houses and stuff were literally built right into the trunk. Little tiny branches that sprouted off built up a sort of a wall around it. And you guys basically ended there, unless I missed anything important that anybody wishes to add.
Only that, oh dang, Troy's character picked up a stone which was spritzed by the liquid.
Yes, he is.
So we kind of suggested he should hide it so nobody would steal it from him.
He was enamored with a basic rock, but to him it is the most beautiful thing ever.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything else offhand. So we sort of stopped when you guys were in the crook of this tree. So As you look down, it's the town below you. It doesn't. From those of you who might be more familiar with like Sigil, such as Zahn or Vendrick, maybe Seda and Tiva, you might be more familiar with these small little hamlet type towns. It doesn't look anything overly fancy. It's pretty basic. Everything looks to be made of wood or carved with wood, or right directly out of the tree itself. There is a path that leads down, and you can see some people bustling here and there and moving about the town. It's about a quarter of a mile down the branch, right nestled against the tree. The only big part that stands out is on the far side of the small little town, right up against the trunk, and it's technically carved right into the side of it, is a path that leads out of the town and then up this little slope into this huge, it's not a castle-sized place, but it's a very larger mansion-sized abode of some sort that kind of rests up above this town looking down upon it. So you kind of get the sense it's some sort of like a leader or something important type area. So I'll toss it over to you guys with that. What do you guys like to do?
I would suggest to the others, well, best information you can get in some kind of drinking hole, right?
Yeah.
Yes. After the events recently, I could really use a drink.
And probably some food, as I look at Zeta.
She might have bacon left.
She nods heartily, like, yes.
So I look for some kind of tavern or whatever they would have here as I approach the, that village.
Actually, I will send you guys a map. Town is called Crux, and as you come down this branch, you come up to the walls. It's sort of a makeshift wall of twigs and branches that have been intertwined with one another to form the outside of this town. There are no guards here, but just above as you enter this little town, you can see the branches up above are sort of arched together and woven together, and a wooden sign hangs that just reads Crux. Below that, in tiny little letters, it says the Tree Burg. There's people bustling about here and there. Nobody really gives you a second glance. You get the idea that most of the people here are either used to travelers or people from outside, and nobody seems to be really bothering you in any sort of way. They give you a cursory glance or two and smile and nod as you move past, but nobody stops to intercept you. You don't see any guards people whatsoever, or at least that look like they're guards as you start to move through the town.
Oh, delightedly, I stop at one of the crossings and I look down the street, quotation marks, and I see the Lucky Lamb. Do I see a sign?
You do. It would read the Lucky Lamb.
And I point at it and I smile. This speaks to me.
She nods, and Tiva nods and says, okay.
Of all the places here in Crux, this one seems to be a very obvious tavern of sorts. Another one that you pass by called the King's something or another here. I don't remember offhand. But that one, too, looks to be a pretty basic little, the King's Table, it's called, inn. But this one looks very, very high class. Across the street, the Lucky Lamb looks to be a little bit more your style. People come and go out of this thing. It's not necessarily the best place looking, but you can smell some good smelling food, roasted lamb rolling out of this thing. People come out with smiles on their faces. So you get the sense it must be halfway decent.
Roasted lamb, huh? Well, I don't dare to take back what I said, so I just continue and open the door and peek in. Is it full?
It is. This place is bustling with people. Nobody, some people look over your way and glance at you for the moment, but quickly go back to the tables. You can see all the tables are filled with steaming food, huge pitchers of ale and wine being passed about. A lot of halflings in this place seem to be bustling about and serving the tables, working them, all with a smile on their faces and a flourish in their step.
Well, I let the small folk in to go first.
So you want me to go through?
Yep.
Okay. So she even walks at the door and just looks in amazement and sees that people that are her size are bustling about and working. Oh, this is fantastic.
I would follow behind her. Sniffing.
I wouldn't eat lamb in front of
I hope so.
Dan.
As you glance around, Zan, you'll notice you are the only warrior in this place. Mostly halflings, some dwarves, and other than that, just a lot of humans and half-elves. You don't see another elf. You don't see another warrior at all. In fact, you haven't seen one as you've passed through this town at all. Not a single one is around. But otherwise, everybody seems to be in good spirits. You find a table, take a seat at, and this small little halfling will, skitter over quickly, stand there tapping her foot, looking at each of you sort of impatiently, but with this fake smile on her face. Well, are we going to order? What would you like? What would you like? Chop, chop. Lots of tables to serve, lots of tables to serve.
She says, "What? Say we go. What do you have? What kind of meat do you have?"
She'll give Zan a bit of a glance, a bit of a smile on her face. Roasted lamb today. Excellent. Buttered up with some chive and onion. It goes well with mashed potatoes.
I
Bit of corn
grumble.
on the side. No, don't worry. We didn't roast up any of your kind.
Sadie goes, "Oh, that sounds good. Do you have any bacon?"
It's fine. Just go ahead. I grumble.
I look over at the guy and I go, "Yes, with lots of mashed potatoes, please."
Quickly sketches this down. A couple pictures of ale too, right? I assume. Yep. I've got that as well. And what else would you like? Anything else?
Oh well, who would know about about portals in the close vicinity here? Do you know?
Portals? What do you need a portal for?
Well, to get away from here.
Well, you're in the finest towns of Yggdrasil. What do you want to leave here for? We got the finest food, the finest ale, the finest wine. I mean, it's a wonderful.
Have you ever been to Sigil?
Who would want to go to the cage? It's a bit of a shithole if I've heard one of myself. All these people and many things. It's here in these small hamlets is where the true delicacies lies. Hometown spirit.
Well, you might not be wrong about that, but
I'm never
still.
wrong. Never wrong about it.
Oh boy.
Your best bet is perhaps to maybe talk to Veridus. He's the person that knows most of the things around here. He says, I don't know anything about portals. I just serve up some ale and some...
Where would we find this gentleman?
Oh, what do I look like? Some sort of messenger? I don't know where he is. He's probably here in the town somewhere. He likes to wander about, pick roses, smell them. He's a bit of a great man. He's not have any sort of ruler per se, but he kind of heeds our protection and takes care of the city, town.
Well, and thank you.
Excellent man. If it wasn't for him, this whole town of Kirk probably wouldn't even be here. He keeps us safe, and everything's running smoothly. I mean, he takes a little bit of the coffers from all the businesses, but we're happy to pay in turn for the safety. And it's been nigh 800 years since we've had any trouble here in the town.
You pay for your safety?
Well, of course, it's like taxes. All hamlets have taxes, cities, towns. I'm sure Sigil has taxes. You look like a business warrior yourself. Don't you pay taxes?
Well, yeah.
Okay, I rest my case then. It's just a simple little tax procedure.
Uh-huh. And I just nod like that's too much information in one conversation.
But don't you worry. The people who look for Veridus, Veridus will find you. He's pretty welcoming about all the new people coming into town and makes his rounds, introduces himself. Excellent fellow. But I'll bring your food right back. Would you perhaps like something else that's a little less cannibalistic for yourself?
What about a salad? Do you have salad?
I can bring you we got some hay and some lettuce out back for the sheep that we slaughter for the dinner, but yeah, I can bring you some hay if you would like.
A little bit ashamed, I'll look at my two companions and I just nod. That would be delicious.
You got it. Anything for a boy you're as well plump as yourself. Seems to be eyeing your haunches quite a bit lately. Yes, well, I will be right back with your meals. Quickly hurries away.
I'll look at Tiva and I whisper, "Why is your folk always so energetic?"
She just kind of smiles. It's just the way we are.
The Seda would lean in, like serious look on her face, like she really wants to like take part in this conversation, and she leans in and she looks over at Zan and goes, You eat lettuce?
Of course. Why not?
On purpose?
What?
She kind of leans back and goes like that, and then sits back in the seat.
I give you like an angry glance. There's nothing wrong about that.
Okay.
Dang it. I'll lean back and I ignore them for the moment.
It is the food that you normally feed your food, but it's okay.
Seda.
No, I'm just saying. That's what. She goes back to her table and is like picking at her with a fork.
Everybody give me a search check.
Oh, I've got to get my dice out.
Yeah, see, look at you. Unprepared.
Oh boy. I'm so offended. I look just at my
Almost.
hands.
It's almost as bad as people who show up late.
Ouch.
Love you. All right. Search. Oh, man, my search sucks.
Yeah, mine too.
Oh, but I nailed it. I got a 1.
Wow.
Beautiful.
How could that happen?
I don't know. All dwarves get lucky. Some guy.
Well, in that case, the halfling will hurry over, and maybe 5-10 minutes later, slap some steaming piles of food, plates on your table, a large pitcher of ale, along with 4 glasses. Well, I guess 5. Vendrick would be there with you, I suppose. Yeah. But there's 1 extra glass for somebody who's not there, basically. And spreads them all out. And sets up this pitcher, gives you a quick cursory nod, slides over your plate, just full of, looks to be old dried hay, grass, and a couple dandelions that are on it, over to you. Zan quickly hurries away with a smile on her face. But Seda, as you start to pick through and eat a bit of your food, every now and then you'll hear this. This seems to be coming from like the rooftop or the ceiling. Up above you is just basic rafters and just a basic constructed building with an open roof. But it sounds like somebody on the roof hammering or something like that every now and then.
So as they do that, as I hear that, I start looking up and I go, somebody's working on the roof. Do you guys hear that?
Oh.
The banging?
Yeah.
Yes, I heard it.
They must be fixing a hole in the roof.
There's a piece of lettuce hanging out of my mouth, and I just shrug. I'm still a little bit pissed.
Oh, we got our food?
Yeah.
Oh,
Well,
sweet.
Zan did.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the halfling would drop off yours as well. Yeah.
Oh, I was going to say, it's easy to make one. You just got to pick it out of the ground. They're halflings though, so you know they at least dunked it in water to wash it off first. But yeah, so she chawing on a piece of mutton is just looking up going, I don't see any holes, though.
Well, maybe it's just on top of the roof. We wouldn't see that.
Well, if it's a hole, you should be able to see through it. Duh.
Well, there are attics.
Can I do an architecture thing to see if I see anything wrong with the roof?
Oh, yeah, totally. You got it. Yep.
I do. I'm a dwarf. I have it at like 4. And I got a 4, so I made it.
Besides being a little bit older, this building looks to be in excellent condition and very well upkept or anything. And again, you'd hear it maybe every 3 or 4 minutes. You could hear it or something. You hear a voice every now and then kind of echo down through. It's too muffled and too squeaky to really make out what it is. But you get the sense that there's people up on the roof running around or doing something.
Yeah. I look at the others and I go, well, I don't see there's no holes in the roof. But there must be something wrong with it. Maybe they're replacing shingles or something.
Where is the carriage with the people that care? I just ask around my lettuce.
You will feel a hand rest on your shoulders, on your left shoulder, and Tiva, you feel one on your right shoulder. I can assure you there is nothing wrong with this establishment. Veridus monitor service. I see the 4 of you have entered town here, and we're asking a bit of questions. My little friend mentioned you were looking for a portal. Says, why don't I have a seat? Dinner's on me. Dinner's on me.
I pointed at a chair.
He will walk around the side of this, take a seat himself. See, he's quite well dressed. This blue tunic of silk. He has a large band of necklaces around his neck, flowing golden blonde hair, and hangs down to his shoulders. Very well groomed. There's a picture of him over in the chat thing there. He looks very noble in his posture. And he takes a seat and puts a small handkerchief in his neckline and pulls over a plate of food, pours himself a pitcher of ale. Says, perhaps I didn't mean to startle the lot of you. Maybe I introduced myself a bit more bluntly than I should have. But you can call me Veridus. I'm a caretaker here in the town. I help things move along, keep town safe. But that's, I don't constitute things like that of myself. But I heard, to get back to the point here, that you were looking for a portal.
Yeah, sure.
This is a portal to where?
Well, preferably Sigil, but to be honest, after our experiences, it can basically be everywhere aside from, and I count down like Pandemonium and Inferno and like the hundreds of circles to hell and things like that.
Nobody wants to visit those places, am I right?
Oh, well, you have no idea what people get asked to go to in my business, but yeah.
Oh, business. You're a businessman like myself. What do you do?
Well, I kind of own a traveling agency.
So you're well-traveled. I have to say I'm a little jealous. I don't get out much. I've been here most of my life, besides a few little travels here and there, but I'm a small-town man. I like it here, but someday I hope to see the Outlands, maybe visit the doors of Sigil. You must absolutely enjoy a life of travel and being able to, I can only imagine the places you've been.
I smile. Like, look at the other two.
Are these your travel companions or clients of yours?
Both?
We just kind of ran into Zan one day.
Yeah, that's a long story, though. So what about the portal?
In which case, Seda would lean over to Tiva and whisper a little too loudly and go, I don't know, I kind of like this place.
He says, it's an excellent place. What was your name, dwarf?
Seda.
Seda, yes. Beautiful name.
Ooh, thank you.
Yeah, this is a very nice town. Safe haven. A lot of travelers come through here on their way down the branches of Yggdrasil, wherever it is they might be going. Now, Zan, as you probably know, I'm sure you're very well traveled here on the tree branches, but there's no necessary portals like you would recognize in Sigil. The portals here are those shimmering gates, which I'm sure you've seen plenty of them. Am I right? Am I right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, to be quite honest, finding one to Sigil is a bit more difficult. The tree, it branches all through the realms, through the worlds, through the astral, all the planes. Finding the gate from one place to another is quite difficult. But give me a bit of time, and I'm sure I can come up with something. I know a few people that know more than I do about the gates and the portals here on the World Ash.
Yeah, my smile is kind of vanishing with every word he's saying. That's not what I wanted to hear.
It's not. Just give me to the morning, and I promise I can have something figured out for you. If not the portal itself, I can at least set you on the right path. I wish to make sure that you have safe travels and don't lead you, down the path to, those damned lizard folk or something of the sort.
Oh, speaking of, are they here?
The Costa? No, they haven't been here in years. Tried to pass through once, but we took care of the situation and handled it peacefully. But they see there's a portal down the branch further that leads to their realm. Perhaps they pass through now and then, but they don't bother the town.
Oh, really? And I kind of look back into that direction, even though I can't see it. Uh-huh. Yeah, we would appreciate a portal or information about a portal if you can find it.
Yep, you give me until the morning. Tell you what, you can stay here at the Lucky Lamb. They got rooms upstairs. I'll cover your payment for this excellent dinner and time spent with friends. I hope we can call each other friends. I didn't mean to forget your name, young lady. What is yours? And he looks at you, Tiva.
I'm so sorry. Can you repeat that?
He'll look over at you and I forgot to ask your name, young lady.
She just kind of looks down and my name is Tiva.
That's just as beautiful as Seda. Welcome you both to this table. Stops and he reaches into this blue vest that he has and he pulls out 2 white roses and gives one to Seda, one to Tiva. But you, Zan, don't look like a man of flowers, so if you want one, I'd be happy to give you one.
I smile politely. It's fine. What will that cost us, sir?
The flowers?
No. All of it. I don't want to be rude, but I live in a city where you get nothing for free.
Oh. Just ask that you share some evening here, have a fine drink and meal, tell me about your wild travels, and just have a general good time. There's a lot of people here, most people traveling on through and what's not, but can't say I see warriors and halflings and dwarves all traveling together very often. When you see that, you immediately think adventuring party of sorts, so I just thought I'd interject politely, of course. I don't mean no intrusion, but just figured I'd have a meal, learn a bit about your stories and who you are. As a caretaker here in the town, I try to make sure that we don't have any troublemakers coming through. I'm sure you understand.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we're not troublemakers.
Certainly not. Young halfling as beautiful yourself, I can't imagine you being in any trouble at all.
You'd be surprised.
But, I mean, you don't owe me anything, and it's just a few coins for a meal and a room, and as long as we have no problems and you don't cause any issues, I'm good, you're good, everybody's happy. He says, I will see what I can do for your portal issues in the morning, and perhaps you could be on your way with tales of the wonderful town of Rux.
Sounds good.
You
I
sound as if you don't quite trust me, Zan. Says, what can I do to pad the favors and assure you that I mean no harm?
He looks a little bit flustered.
Says, wait. You know, take out this small white flower that he has. Puts it back on his vest. Oh, okay.
What was that, if I may ask?
Oh, it's a peony white rose. They grow along the branches of Yggdrasil. Excellent smell there. Very perfumey, and just every now and then I like to have a good whiff. It lifts the spirits. And
I see.
Are those this? Is that the same rose that he had given us?
yeah, same thing. Yeah.
Okay. Diva just kind of looks at her rose and puts it to her nose a little bit and just kind of. Yeah, I mean, yes, it smells nice.
It doesn't just smell nice.
It
is absolutely phenomenal. By far one of the best smelling flowers here in the Northlands. I'm sure you will agree.
Did Say to get one too?
Yeah, we both did.
Okay. All right. She's kind of look at it and just kind of reach back and just go stick it right in her hair. Like that. And then look at you and smile.
That's very pretty on you, Say.
That's beautiful.
And then go back to eating her mashed potatoes.
But I like to welcome most of the people that come to here to town when I'm able, and I saw the lot of you come in this evening, and you looked a bit adventurous, so I figured, why not introduce myself? Perhaps you could have something that I could make use of or something. But if you're simply looking for a portal, then I'd be happy to help out where I can and get you on your ways.
That would be very appreciated. Thank you.
You guys will hear that pitter-patter across the roof again, and he'll glance up at it. Yes, well, it seems I have other issues to take care of for the evening. If you will beg my pardon, I will be back in the morning. I'll be happy to let you know what I find out.
Do you know what that noise on the roof is?
The Ratatosk says they're something. They've always been a bit of a nuisance, always scurrying about and getting into the garbages and just being a regular pain in the arse. But of lately, they've been a little rambunctious, a bit more flighty than they normally are. Jumping around and hollering and hooting and chattering and saying god-awful type things to my poor patrons. Nothing to be concerned about. We usually just escort them back out of town and send them on their way. It's as if they're confused. Himmel was a Ratatosk.
Mm-hmm.
So basically like squirrel humanoid things.
Wait a minute.
Yeah, the little girl thing that was the healer.
Yeah, that's what she was.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And you have problems with those?
We met one before, and she was quite nice.
He'll scoot his chair back to stand up and says, yes, they are. Normally we don't have much of a problem. Some of them can be tamed down and established in society. It's a bit rare, but I've seen it. Other ones, those that live here in the tree, they are caretakers of Yggdrasil, if you will. They travel the branches, and they are much like you might be with your gods. They are with the tree. They are one and the same. And they believe themselves to be caretakers and protectors of the tree. And,
Oh,
as
shit.
of late, they've been a bit confused and rambunctious, a bit more of a nuisance than they normally are. So I promise we don't hurt them or anything. A couple of my men will just escort them out of town and shoo them off into the branches. But it's been going on for nearly a month now. Not quite sure what has got them stirred up. Perhaps somebody has been snatched their nuts. I don't know.
I was just about to grab my clock thing, my counter thing, but as he says, it's going on for a month now. I say, as I stop, I say, did something with the tree change recently?
Well, his eyes will snap in your direction and sort of stare at you for this awkward bit of silence. Pull his chair back in and sit down. Says, not that I know of. Why? What do you know?
Nothing. Just asking. Just curious.
That's a curious question to be curious about.
Well,
I get many people that come through asking such things. Says, I'm an intelligence man, Zan. And Zeta, Tifa, says, I have the town's safety is my utmost concern. If there's something that might be troubling you, or even if it's something that might trouble us, I at least would hope that you could lend an ear or tell me. It says, as far as I know, there hasn't been anything wrong with the tree. I mean, we struggle along here and do quite fine. The druids down at the Woodworkers Guild continue to do their things, and I haven't seen a peep of otherwise problems, besides the Ratatosk. But I mean, they're just squirrel people. And like I said, perhaps their cachet of nuts has been stolen for the hibernation season. Who knows?
Well, and I lift my hand and I shout to the serving halfling, schnapps? And I point at all of us for a round of schnapps.
She'll wave her hand in the air and hurry over to the bar, and looks like she's getting things around. A few minutes later, she'll drop off a bottle along with shot glasses.
Well, and I hand out glasses and fill them, and I say, so you probably get a lot of travelers, and you probably hear a lot of stories, right?
That's the name of the game. And, well, I'm sure you already know, but that's my reason for being here. I tend to pick the ears and the brain boxes of those who travel through to make sure that I'm prepared for whatever might come our way and can give us the utmost advantage given the situation. It seems perhaps you might be rattling your bone box about something good that might aid us.
Well, good is maybe not the right word. And I look at the other three, well, two in this case, and I kind of look for approval.
Seda is sniffing this shot glass because she has no freaking idea what a schnapps is. It sounds like a rodent.
And Eva covered her ears when he heard that he likes to pick ears.
So I pretty much got their approval as far as I could get. So I take a deep breath and I say, have you heard story of the gods recently?
Uh-oh.
Let me stop you there, Zen.
Dun, dun, dun.
You see, the town of Crux is agnostic at best.
No, that's not what I mean. I don't want to convert you to Mistra or whatever, or even Helm. But no. Have you heard stories about them going missing? And I kind of realized how ridiculous I sound, so I look a little bit sheepish.
Well, the gods missing, I don't think is much of our concern. We tend to have the belief that...
I know it's not of your concern. I understand this, Blood. But listen, Blood. Stories about gods missing or not listening or anything? No?
Since I've perhaps heard a couple trinkets of lingo here and there, but as I don't quite worry too much about such things. The world would probably be a better place without him half the time, but go on.
So I empty my second shot glass and I fill my third. And because I can't take alcohol, so I lean half over the table with a very serious face. And I say, well, you should be concerned about your tree.
And Tiva gasped and covers her mouth.
And I look at Tiva and I say, yeah, didn't you hear? For the Ratatosk, it's some kind of a god. And if it's really a god...
It's not a god per se, but you could look at it as a elemental superiority, maybe? He says, I don't quite know what the proper term might be.
Well, a divine being. On that we can probably agree.
Perhaps the best term for the words, yes.
Yeah, so it's more or less a god, right?
Says,
to them.
What would be able to even impact such a thing?
And my fist slams onto the table and the shot glasses dance for a moment. That's it! And I point with my shot glass.
I grab my shot glass as it bounces around the table and I glare at you like, hey!
See, that's the problem here. What can harm a god?
Sort of stares. Is this a riddle?
No! And I empty my third shot glass.
Says if I had to guess, and there was such a thing as a god, he says, I'm not saying there is or there isn't. Then the only thing that could hurt a god is another god, right? Or something. I mean, what is there beyond the deities themselves?
That's a good point. That's a very good point. That's something we have to keep in mind. And I look seriously at the other three, and then I take out the counting thing I took from Zephyr, and I place it not in the middle of the table, still close enough to me, and I show it to him. I lift it up so he can see the numbers on it.
And what exactly is this?
This is the counter for dead gods.
And he'll lean back in his chair and just start laughing. Says, you almost had me for a minute, Zahn.
No, it's real. Tell them. And I tell him. And I look at the other two. Tell him.
It's true. And I think what happened is what brought us here. We're actually not from this world. We're from a different place. And we went into this bar, and there was a hearthstone that was made out of wood, and then we ran into somebody that was really bad, and we went through a door, and it brought us here.
Well, yes, and
I'm not sure how.
And since then, and before, people are losing connection to their gods. And we saw proxies dying. And we saw illithids exploding. And it's terrible. And I think the tree's dying now too, now that you're saying it.
Says then the tree. He says, from what I've seen, the tree is thriving. The leaves are green, the branches are hard.
For now, but it won't last.
I nod.
He says, but how can you be so sure of? How do you know this is counting dead gods and it's not counting meals the dwarf has eaten? No, something else.
Because the proxies exploded and then the counter went up.
Because if it was common meals as a dwarf eating, it would be way bigger than that.
Yeah. It was an exemplary feature, say that, not a true example. He says, but perhaps something more in coincidence happened with, the proxies exploding. He says, for one and one, it seems much too coincidental for them to be connected, not just a string of fate. I haven't come across anybody who seems to be lost connection with their gods. I haven't seen any illithids exploding, and my stopwatch does not show counters of like yours.
Well, you're not exploring, right? You're here in your safe little village. You know what? Wait here. And I get up and I like shove my stool almost into the wall. And I like gallop almost outside, and I look up to the roof. Do you see one of the Ratatasks running around there?
You do. You actually see two that are running around up there. They'll quickly jump about and squeaking and squawking in this sort of tongue. You're not quite sure what it is they're saying, but they're definitely chittering and causing a bit of a ruckus up there.
Hey, Burks!
See if they notice you.
Did you say birds?
Burks.
Burks.
B-E-R-K.
Oh, I thought
That means like, hey, guy.
I thought
or
you said
something.
birds.
No.
They weren't birds. They were Ratatasks.
Ratatasks. They will notice you and quickly sort of spin around. Both of them coming down to the edge of the rooftop. It's about 20 feet above you or so, Zan, as they glance down, just staring at you with these large brown eyes. Their fur is completely sort of mangy looking, and tufts of it have been ripped out and are scattered all about. You can see that they're covered in what looks to be a thick, sappy stuff that's kind of binding it up into knots. They look worse for wear.
Hey, does one of you speak common?
They will look at another, and the other one will look down. It's high-pitched, sort of squeaky voice. Yes.
Oh, thank the gods. And he really looks relieved.
God's gone.
Exactly! And I point like up at them. Exactly. Thank you. Can you please come down here? We need to talk.
This long, fingers ending in these thick curling claws that they use to climb these trees, wiggles about, says, "Doom, doom, everywhere is
Yes!
doom.
Yes!
Black wood, noxious.
Yes!
Just all over on this rooftop, just kind of like clutching at itself, not in pain or anything, but sort of like mocking what it's thinking.
Yes, I agree. Come down here.
No.
Why no?
Quickly just bounce away across the rooftop, screaming at the top of its lungs, doom, black wood, death, despair, and running blood. It just kind of mixes all these over in different phrases and whatnot, but same basic words over and over.
I shout
eventually,
after.
You can see a couple other people climbing up different sides of the building, trying to chase these things down. As they're, like 3 other people in these Ratatasks stammering all over the building. A bit of a ruckus.
I kind of scream after them. Is your tree all right?
They don't necessarily answer you or anything, but you get the sense that no.
So I walk back in, and I don't really know how to feel about that being right. So I take my seat again, and I say, well, I tried to get one of them in here, but for one, they agreed on the gods dying, and 2, they look a little bit disheveled.
Yes, they've looked like, normally they're quite sleek-furred creatures, and just, perhaps tomorrow, before we meet up and I can help you find your portal, you should speak to the druid down at the Woodworkers Guild. older woman. She's Marlis. Marlis is her name. Stop down there, but she seems to be in connection with these creatures. Knows a bit more about them, but I must admit I'm a bit ignorant in their ways and their tendencies outside of running atop my rooftops and causing a bit of a ruckus. She might be able to help you more than I. But
I think that's a good idea. I think that's good.
I will have to call a commune with her myself as well. She's, well, she's quite old and doesn't get out as much anymore, and it's been quite a while since I paid her a visit. But if what you say indeed has weight, then perhaps I've taken this a bit lighter than I should. And my apologies for that. You must understand we get many people coming through trying to take advantage of the town. I like to understand where people are coming from before I divulge my own information.
Oh, believe me, we only want to get away from here, but I mean, you should know when your tree is dying, right?
Well, it's not my tree, but
well, you're living on it. That makes it your tree and your responsibility. Boom! And I bang the glass on the table.
Seda would lean back and just kind of glance over at Zan with these wide eyes, and then look over at Tiva, and then look back over at Zan like with this look of like, wow, and then just have this look of like she's really laying down being a parent. Yes, sorry.
Oh, I'm used to it now.
And Tiva kind of looks over at Zan and takes the glass. And, maybe you've had enough, and just kind of drags it away from on the table.
And I pull it back. I not nearly had enough. After all this bloody business going on here, and we can't even go home now.
Just calm down, Zan. I promise you I will find a portal here on the World Tree to get you back to Sigil, if that is where you truly want to go.
Yes.
Can you send us
Man
home?
of your traveling of your Excalibur, though, it seems weird you would wish to go to a cage such as that. But it's not of my importance. I will help you out the best that I can. Tomorrow morning I will pass through and let you know what I have found out. But I unfortunately have proper things to attend to. You can hear still the people yelling and running around on the rooftop as they try to corral these two little ratatosk's still. Says, if you'll excuse me. But I will commune with Marlis tomorrow as well and have her look into this. My sincerest thanks for bringing this to my news. And as I said, your room and your dinner are covered. You're all good. You're good. But you let me know if you need anything, okay?
I nod as I lean back.
Seda would say, thank you.
Then he'll stand up. He does a proper bow, and he'll take Seda, your hand, and give it a soft kiss, as well as yours, Tiva. He nods to shake your hand, Zan, as he walks away, straightens his suit or his outfit a little bit, and be sure to fold away his napkin to place it on the table, and heads out to leave. He says, I will be back in the morning and let you know what I came up with. Before he heads out the door.
We leave, Seda would go, he sure is nice.
Well, let's hope that we're not being played again.
Oh, no, you're not being played. That's Verdus. That's the man I was talking about. You can see this little halfling waiter that was standing beside you, Zan, taking up some tapes. He says, if anybody could help you, that would be him. He knows where everything is, or he has the connections to know where everything is. If you're looking for a portal, he'll find you a portal. How was the dinner? Did you like the roasted lamb?
It was very good, yes.
Excellent stuff. I made the onion and chive sauce myself this morning. A little bit of butter and some roasted lamb.
What time of the day is it right now?
It'd probably be early evening.
She would be like, I can't wait to see what you have for breakfast.
Well, we're going to have lamb pancakes and butter and maybe some grits. We still got a lot of lamb left over. We're known for our lamb around here.
You hear the shot glass being filled again.
I've never had lamb pancakes, but I would sure love to try them.
And then Tiva just kind of looks over at Seda going, stop talking about the lamb.
It's really good. And she didn't care.
But that...
You can see she looks at you for a moment, Zan. She says, please, just excuse me for just a moment. She'll reach in and takes out this tape measure and kind of measures around your haunches a little bit and seems to be sizing you up.
Huh?
I was just curious, Zan. You'd have nothing to worry about. She'll sort of smack your rump again as she hurries away.
I look after her, like blinking. Did she just... Did she... No. No.
Didn't seem quite as impressed with your less than meaty skeletal leg, though.
Yeah, I hope so.
I think she wants to cook you, Zan. We might want to leave.
I don't want to eat him. He's probably really tough and gamey. No offense.
None taken.
Plus, one of your legs is already gone.
Oh, really?
I hadn't noticed.
Tiva slaps Seda. Stop it!
Immediately takes a shot of her schnapps.
Don't even remind him of that.
You can hear this heavy thump up on the rooftop, followed by a second, and sounds like something being dragged across the rooftop, and a bit of yelling that quickly fades out after a moment or so. And the windows outside, you can see the man you were speaking with, Veritas, as he leads these two other... They don't look like guards, but you can see that they do have swords on their hips. When they're sort of escorting these two little Ratatosk beings out of the town. They're not doing it in any sort of mean way or anything of the sort. They're just kind of leading them out. They just continue to chitter and chatter and hoot and holler and make noise, but they follow along.
I hope they don't hurt them.
Oh, no. They don't ever hurt the Ratatosk when they clamber around up on
Are you always around? I turn to the halfling.
You have to understand that I work for tips. I'm hoping to get a very nice tip tonight. I mean, I served you your plates, I brought you the ale, and the schnapps. It's an excellent thing, is schnapps. And, yeah, I'm just trying to help out. But no, they don't hurt the Ratatosk. They escort them to the outsides of the town and let them back loose in the branches, give them a few nuts and make them scurry on their way. It seems to be a recurring thing here every couple of nights. I don't know why they always pick this building. They're always on our rooftop all the time, just out there hooting and hollering and talking, and something about the doom and the Blackwood, and a little bit crazy.
Well, not as crazy as
what happened to your leg there?
Really?
He says, I'm just trying to strike up a conversation. I mean, there's a lot less meat on that leg than there is on the other.
But there was these bugs.
Oh, I hate bugs.
Well, so did Zan.
I bury my nose in my shot glass.
There were bugs, and they decided to make a home out of Zan's leg.
So they had to burn it off.
No, that's not how it went.
Hopefully the meat didn't go to waste, did it? I mean, at least somebody saved it, right?
No.
What do you mean?
It's just a shame to see so much. How was dinner okay?
It was delicious.
Excellent. Yeah, we're known for our lamb around here. Slow roasted and smoked. There's an excellent little smoke ring on the inside of there. Next time you have some, take a look at it. Excellent smoke ring.
Macaroons are really good too.
I smack a piece of silver onto the table.
Do you need a bit more salad?
No, we're good.
Do you eat a lot of salads? You should probably try to eat something a little bit more fatty. Maybe some grains and get some whole wheats in there. I could bring you with some bread and butter.
I put a second piece of silver onto the table.
Just checking. I'm just trying to make a living here. Us waiters don't make quite as much money as the cooks back there. And we have to split tips. Just saying.
It almost makes it sound like you want Zan on the menu.
But no. That's a boring. Look how gamey he is. Anyway, we need to fatten him up if we were going to cook him. Not that we would. I mean, we're known for our lamb, and this is a warrior and all the whole things. But just let me know if you need anything.
I'm beginning to wonder if you know the difference.
Scurry away every now and then, giving you a nice look, though, Zan.
Where's our room? Sorry.
Oh,
Go ahead.
You can see the upstairs. It's on the farther side, just a pair of stairs that lead up to the second loft, and there's only 5 rooms from if you ask somebody. But Veridus does have you set up for a couple of rooms whenever you need to be.
Yeah, I need that now, I think. Very urgently.
Is it just, do we each have our own room, or
If that's what you want, certainly.
are we, okay.
No, I think we should share a room. I think we should all be together just in case they try to take Zan in the middle of the night.
Oh.
Because Zan might be part of that lamb pancake in the morning.
Plus, the last 2 times we stayed in tavern, it didn't go very well.
No, it didn't. So I think we should all bunk together.
Yeah, so I guess we'd go upstairs then. I would finish eating as quickly as possible, and then I guess we'd go on up to our room.
Yeah.
See what's happening.
Yeah, basic, real simple, just a couple beds and footstools and wash basins and stuff. Nothing fancy. You could probably the king's table across the way would have much fancier rooms, but beggars can't be choosers, and it looks. I mean, it's a basic room, nothing fancy.
Okay.
That's totally fine.
But yeah, I mean, if you guys wanted to hit the bed, you can see it's probably getting sort of early night, not too late, but you've had a long day. And do anything else before you head to bed?
Before going to bed, Seda would kind of go back out. I guess if I come out of the room from the upstairs, is there like a railing or balcony that I can look down over the common room?
Yep, totally.
I would probably just kind of hang out up there and keep an eye out there, see if I saw any dwarves that would come in.
Yeah, there's a few here and there, not a ton of them. It looks to be pretty minor, and you can get the sense that they're actually travelers. They all have like the traveling gear and stuff with them and something. They're not normal town patrons, but there's a few that do pass through.
So if they were to come in, I would go and try and ask them and basically introduce myself as Seda from the Crystal Mist of Greyhawk. And I'm assuming, would the people from Greyhawk actually call it that? Or would it just be Orth?
Probably Orth. Yeah.
Orth, okay, so Crystal Mists of Orth, and ask them, are they, any of them from the same place?
One of them, this bit shorter than you, but much stockier. Male dwarf introduces himself as Vornos. Ain't never heard the place.
And she would sigh dejectedly, and she would like, okay, thank you.
The plains are quite expansive, though, Seda, and just like any other dwarf, we're all connected one way or another. But I wish you the best of luck. Are you searching for family, perhaps?
I'm just trying to get back home, and I was looking to see if somebody else had been, if one of you dwarves had come from the same place, and I was going to ask you how you got here and if you knew how you were getting home.
Nope. From the misty mountains of Torred and myself. It's far in the north. They like to call us snow dwarves, a bit of a racist term. But yes, not one of myself. I've never heard of this Orth, as you've called it. Much like yourself, though I appeared here on accident, but made my time, met good friends, and have many stories to tell. Can't say I miss my realm anyway.
Well, in that case, I would probably just sit and listen to stories until bedtime.
Yeah, if you share stories, he'll just tell you about this massive red dragon he calls Old Snarl. This seems to rule over the mountains where he's from and caused a lot of problems. It's just a constant battle between the dwarves, giants, barbarian tribes, and this massive ancient red dragon, and all sorts of stories he'll tell and legends and such of it. But I'm not sure what's true and what's not, but good stories nonetheless.
Okay.
But I tell you what, Seda, if you ever need anything and we cross paths, I'll cover the meal next time and we'll share a bit more words. It's good to meet you.
I would give him a kind of a formal shake and introduce with my full name and offer the same thing. So, and then tell them I'm going to retire for the night with my own companions. But it was nice to meet a friendly face.
Yes. Do you know where you're traveling after this? Are you headed back out to the branches?
Not yet. I don't know. I think we're going to decide in the morning.
Well, if you need any traveling companions, myself and Sidoru, and point over to a half elf who's blacked up in these black robes and is kind of spinning a little dagger on the table. Says, we're always looking for people to a bit of adventure and travel in the world. Let's, just offering it up, one dwarf to another. You let me know.
Are you going to have breakfast here in the morning?
What dwarf would I be if I wasn't here for breakfast?
I know, but you never know how pushy the other people can be.
Have you had the lamb pancakes here?
I've not, but I'm really excited about it.
Well, I am too.
You're upstairs. You didn't hear.
I dream.
So what was his name again?
Vornos, Vornos. And his companion, Sidoru, Sedouru.
Tiva upstairs with Zan hears him crying in his sleep, and Tiva walks over and just starts kind of petting Zan's head.
So with that, I would bid them farewell, and then I would go upstairs, and if Zan is knocked out asleep, then I would just wait until the morning to tell them.
Everybody give me a save versus... Well, are you doing any watch, or are you just everybody going to sleep?
Well, I mean, I guess being in a halfling tavern, I don't know, Seda with her low intelligence would have just said, let's go to bed.
Yeah, same.
Okay. In that case, I just need saves versus magic from everybody.
Oh, shit.
Save versus magic. Spells or innate abilities?
Not in this case, no.
Okay. Oh, magic. Yeah, that's it, magic. Okay.
I didn't make it.
It's the last one on the right, man.
Oh, right here, the magic. So we roll a d20 for
Yep,
that?
and you want to go over it.
Yep, higher than whatever that is.
I'm good. I got a 19 over a 10.
I'm not good.
I'm a derf. I don't care about magic stuff.
Oh, I did not make it. I failed.
All right, if you fail, nothing major, but you're just racked with these horrible nightmares all night long. I'll let you, Zan, what do you have these horrible nightmares about? Or what is it? I'm sure you have plenty of things. But...
Do you really need to ask? I dreamed that I suddenly miss my good leg, and as I walk the tavern, I see that the missing gods are eating my leg, and my companions are actually sitting with them and eating my leg as a pancake.
These are the best pancakes ever.
And I wake up screaming.
And Tifa, what do you have nightmares about on this evening?
Well, due to the recent events she lost her arm, her use for her arms, she's sitting there sleeping, and the whole scenario is going through her head again, and one arm is broken and the other arm is broken, and she's trying to free herself from the clutches of these gigantic bugs, the same ones that were digging into her or into Zan's legs. And she's just trying to struggle. I can't move my arms. And she's waking up screaming, going, I can't move my arms. I can't move my arms.
Probably at the same time when I'm screaming, where's my leg?
And Seda, who slam dunked her save versus magic, is laying there going, bacon, lamb pancakes.
You bitch.
Do I still regain a point of HP for sleeping?
You do. Yes.
Okay, that's
you guys have a full
something.
night's sleep or whatever, but you'll wake up and through these dreams, both of you, everything feels sort of realistic. And even when you wake up, maybe Zon, your leg's particularly sore, even though there's no muscle or left to it. It still feels in pain. Or something, it just seems a little too real for comfort.
Yeah, I know.
Both of you give me a search check as well.
No.
Oh, wrong dice.
Zon and Tiva.
Yeah, Zon.
Oh, we have to roll.
The 1d6 has to be equal to or
right?
under. Yep.
Okay, then I failed.
All right. So yeah, nothing else really. You just wake up. You get a full night's rest as far as mechanically goes, but you do feel tired, a little bit more exhausted, like you didn't quite think, and everything just seems a little too real for comfort for the both of you.
Yep.
You'll wake up in the morning. You can already hear the bustling going on downstairs and the pots and pans, the smell of fresh cooking sausage and pancakes and grits, maple syrup drifting through the air.
So Seda would wake up and excitedly as she gets up, excitedly like rouse the other two and just be like, lamb pancakes, come on,
Yeah.
lamb pancakes.
I hold my head.
You can have carrots again or something. And as she's getting her stuff together, she's saying, "Go, oh, by the way, last night I met a dwarf who was something called the snow dwarf, which I've never heard of before, but he's not from our place. He's from a place called Toril, which I've never heard of. So I'm assuming it's a totally different place." And she does motions with her hands other than where we're from. But him and a half elf in robes, he was very, very nice. And he said that they were traveling, but he says that he doesn't miss where he came from anymore, that he apparently likes it here or whatever. But he said that if we were traveling around and if we needed the companions, that they might be willing to go with us. And they're supposed to be downstairs having breakfast. So he seemed nice enough to me, but I'll leave it up to you guys because.
Let's hope we don't need it, that we just get a portal back home.
Well, I'm just doing what I'm supposed to do and letting you know.
Mm-hmm.
Now, pancakes! And then she rushes out the door.
Whatever floats your boat.
Tiva's still laying in the bed, and she's looking around. I can't move my right arm.
Yeah, I feel you.
She's been sleeping on it all night long, and it's fallen asleep. But then she starts freaking out, going, "I can't move it! Oh wait, no, feeling's coming back."
And you see his head pop back in the door and just stomping her feet, going, "Tiva, pancakes!"
Yeah.
And then she moves back out the door again.
And Tiva sighs. I'm so sorry, Zan.
And I slowly get down after them.
Downstairs, you can see the place is bustling pretty good. You do a glance around, say that you don't see Vornos or Sador anywhere at the moment, but they might be somewhere else or whatever. But the tables are packed up pretty full. People are standing around eating off their plates and talking with one another. They don't really give you guys much of a cursory glance, but small little halfling, the same waiter you had from the night before, hurry over.
Oh, goodness.
Welcome. Good morning. I hope you all had a great sleep last night. I feel refreshed myself. I don't think I've slept better in perhaps years. I feel excellent. But anyway, well, a bit of breakfast. I bet you want some of those lamb pancakes, don't you?
I do.
Maple syrup?
Is there another kind?
Not as good as ours.
Exactly.
All right. And butter?
Please.
All right. Yeah. What about you? And she'll look over at you, Tiva. I bet you want some lamb pancakes too?
No, I'll just take some eggs.
No, but these are the best things on the menu.
Oh my God! Really?
Really? Exactly.
Seda puts her hands at the table. She looks at the waiter and she goes, "Okay, I will take a double order of the pancakes, but you have to do me a favor. The chive sauce that you put on the pancakes or that you put on the lambs last night, you have to roast some really nice, big, fat carrots, and you have to baste them in that sauce, and you have to do that for my friend.
For Zan.
Yes.
What?
Oh. Yeah, I can totally do that.
I want him to be the best carrots ever.
Oh, I got you, Miss Dwarf. Don't you worry. We'll fatten this warrior up.
She starts looking at the other two, all proud of what she's done.
Did you just order pancakes for him?
So I got an order of pancakes, double order for the dwarf, and an order for the halfling, and some roasted carrots for you, Mr. Borriere. Anything else? A bit of orange juice. I bet you would like a glass of milk, wouldn't you? We got the freshest beetle milk here on the tree.
Are you talking to me?
Beetle milk?
Well, I can offer you some too, Miss Dwarf, but I was hoping we could, offer the Boreal up a bit of, the beetle milk is quite high in protein and calcium and the fats, and plump them up a little bit.
Will it give them a lot of energy for walking?
The most energy you've ever seen. I got you. Don't you fellows worry. Yep, I got you. Yep, old Flame is on your side. She'll quickly hurry away, and you can hear the banging of pots and pans and silverware out into the kitchen.
And I look over at Dan and I go, no, I got you.
You only see his spot as he's walking away.
Roasted carrots with chive sauce on them. They're going to be the best carrots ever. I almost want some myself.
Yeah, to fatten him up.
But
Didn't you hear?
We're not going to be here that long. It's going to give him plenty of energy to walk, too.
Yeah, walk to the fryer.
I look over at Tiva and I just take my two fingers and I point at my arms and I go, do you really think that's going to happen? And I start looking for the dwarf.
No, you do not see him at the moment. But Zan, as you start walking away, over into the corner, coming through the door, it'll kind of swing open, and this large man will come through. And the first person you've seen in town that looks like he's any sort of guard or military type person, has a full set of plate mail and the great sword hanging off of his back, and he quickly scans around the room. He looks quite not tough or anything, but demeaning sort of look. Close cropped hair, very silvery goatee. There's a picture over in the group chat there. And he'll sort of lock eyes with you for a moment and then start pushing his way through the crowd to come over.
Uh-oh.
You, Boria. Zan, I recall.
Mm-hmm.
Where's your two friends?
Who wants to know?
I was told to meet yourself, a dwarf by the name of Seda, and a halfling by Tiva.
What for?
Veridus sent me to have a few words with you this morning.
Oh, yeah.
Well, are you the person I'm looking for?
Yeah, I might have said a little bit too much yesterday, but yes, we can talk.
Well, I'm just here to deliver a simple message that he will be a bit busy this morning. He is working on your portal issues. I don't ask. It's not my business. I'm here to simply let you know that he will meet you here at high noon. Understood?
Mm-hmm.
Excellent. Well, you tell your friends wherever they are in this crowd of people that to be back here around noon. He also recommended that you go down and speak with the woodworker lady. I always forget her name. Down at the Woodworkers Guild. Said something about a story that you told him that she would be interested in. Since I don't give a shit what you do, but that's what I'm supposed to tell you.
I smile and I think, oh shit, I said so much. Okay,
Marlis.
good.
Marlis is her name, yes. Marlis the Woodworker.
Mm-hmm.
Old lady. I mean, she's old. She does have quite beautiful eyes, though. But anyway, yes, you do that. Be back here at high noon. I will be along with Veridus, and we should be able to help you with whatever it is you're looking for. Understood? Excellent. Give you a clap on the shoulder, turn and start pushing his way back through the crowd. looking very unimpressed by even having to be here.
I'll look after him and then turn back to the others. You probably took a table, right?
Yes, the halfling will be hurrying over with a double stack of pancakes, which would be 8 pancakes, a large pile of grits and maple syrup in these little glasses, a large plate full of large, perfectly roasted, delicious-smelling carrots, a couple glasses of beetle milk, which is sort of this greenish, putrid yellow sort of color, real thick and doesn't really smell the greatest, but you hear it tastes good. Some orange juice.
So we have to hang out here basically until high noon, but we can talk to the Marlin? To the druid. Mm-hmm.
Ah, you're talking about Marlis. Yes, Marlis is a great person. Lives down at the Woodworkers Guild. Beat up them carrots. I made them specially for you, Mr. Borear. They're extra tasty.
And every time he does that, he or she? Is it a he?
Yeah, it's
You can't quite tell, but
So every time I jump, and I'll look like next to me. Don't do this.
No, I'm not one to really pressure things around you. Vera discovered your bill last night, but I'm just saying you didn't leave any tip on the table. So I'm going to try and do an extra good job here this morning.
I left you. I didn't leave the tip, but I gave you a tip. I know that.
She did give you the tip. And I'm going to tip you today. And I'll reach over and pick up the glass of milk, and I sniff it to see what it smells like.
Smells very, very sweet, almost like vanilla.
And I slide it over to Zan. I said, well, it smells really good. And I dig into my pancakes.
Yeah, I don't think I can make myself drink beetle milk when beetles ate my leg. But
these are not the same kind of beetles, These are Yggdrasil beetles.
oh, you're still here.
They're large enough to hold. We use them as mounts and to travel around a little bit quicker on the branches. They can be a bit ornery, especially the horned ones. The horny beetles are kind of a bit of a pain in the ass. But otherwise, they're and they leave some excellent milk behind.
I start eating really quickly.
A lot of people don't even realize you can milk a beetle. But there's techniques you can do.
There are things I just don't want to know about.
I'm going to reach over and take one of the glasses of beetle milk and sip it and see if it's any good.
It's very, very thick and syrupy, extremely sweet as well. But it sort of tastes like milk and vanilla, but it's very, very, very sweet.
Okay. So I'll slide my orange juice over to Zan and just be like, here. And I'll pull the glass of the milk over to me, and I'll drink the milk and continue eating the pancakes.
Yeah, that's better. I look satisfied for the moment.
Excellent. In that case, Seda, you're going to have fire resistance for the day.
Oh, nice.
Dang it! Oh.
Sometimes it pays to have a dwarven gullet.
Shit.
Yeah, the morning kind of rolls through. You guys finish up breakfast. The halfling's always there to lend a helping hand if you need it to. Always keep a close eye on the warrior.
Do we ever see the dwarf show up?
You do not. Do you mention him at the table or say anything about him?
Well, I mentioned something to them up. Oh, you mean while the little guy's there?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I would ask. I say, late last night, there was a dwarf, and I hiccup from eating the pancakes too fast. And I said there was a dwarf that came in last night named Vornos. He had a friend who was a half elf in robes.
Yes, I've seen the two. They tipped a bit better than your friend, I must say. I served them up a little bit. But yeah, they're excellent folk. Very nice, very nice. Apparently, they like to travel around on the tree a bit.
Did you see them this morning?
No, they said they'd be here this morning for breakfast. I ain't seen them yet, though, but they stayed down at the king's table, a bit of a higher class. They think they're all better than us over here and stuff. Those damn half-elves over there, they're a bit snooty, if I say so myself.
Well, if it makes a difference, he said he was really excited about trying your pancakes.
Oh, yeah, yes. Everybody's excited about our pancakes. What did you think of our pancakes? Excellent pancakes.
They're delicious.
Yes. Yep. Griddled on both sides with fresh butter and can't get any better than that. But no, he said he'd be over this morning. I just haven't seen him yet. But yeah, I'll let him know you're looking for him.
Thank you.
Oh, you're most certainly welcome. Anything else I can get for the table? Perhaps a bottle of schnapps again?
It's a little early for that, but we'll eat some more and then we'll let you know.
All right. You just let me know if you need anything.
Will do. And he goes to eat some more.
Yeah, nothing else really interesting happens in the morning, unless there's anything else you guys want to do in there. Let's see.
It is just basically on the lookout for the door.
Nope, you do not see either one of them in the morning. Right on up through for as long as you stay anyway.
Okay.
I would suggest then that we talk to the druid. Is she in that? Was she meant with the when you said woodworking shop?
Yep, she's part of the Woodworkers Guild. Which,
oh yeah, okay.
I think it's down towards it's down towards the bottom of the map of Crux there.
Yeah. So I would suggest that we talk to her maybe and ask about the tree. No?
I'm sorry, we had a distraction.
Did you hear what? Yeah, did you?
No.
Okay.
Sorry.
So I would suggest that we talk to the druid woman at the Woodworkers Guild because of the tree.
Okay. We don't have to stay in the actual tavern till noon? Or we just
we're only meeting there.
Okay.
Yeah.
For some reason I was under the impression we had to wait here. So
no, he just said that he would, or Veritas would meet you there at high noon. So I mean,
okay. Then she would. She's like, "Yeah, let me finish my pancakes," and then start cutting through them as fast as she can.
well, if you would like it to go package, we could wrap this up for you.
Oh, don't worry, I'll get through it in just a second.
All right. Any more carrots that you need there, Mr. Boyer?
No. Thank you.
Perhaps you'd like a piece of cake to go. We have very fine pastries that we baked up this morning. Some blueberry custard fluff cakes.
I'm good.
I'll get you one to go. It's on the house. I'll get you one to go.
And my head like goes down onto the table.
I'll pat Zen and be like, "Oh, it's okay, I'll eat it."
Yeah, he, whatever it might be, will drop off a small little package of blueberry puff cakes. Look quite delicious.
So how much is all of the pancakes and stuff?
Cost-wise?
Yes.
Yeah, 2 copper.
Oh, 2 copper. All right. Where did I write my money?
Oh, that's a good question.
I wrote it down. Hold on.
Oh wait, no, I've got 30 silver pieces.
Oh yeah, I got a lot. So I'll give. I was like, look at him, and I'll just be like, these were so good. Oh my god! And you said the meal was 2 copper for all of it.
Oh, no, for all of it. You 2. She had 1. Well, it's 1 copper per order of pancakes. So you had 2. Tiva had 1, and she had carrots. So I'll say 4 copper altogether.
4 copper altogether. So I'm actually going to slide him 2 whole silver, and tell him that you get to keep all the rest.
Oh, thank you so much, Mr. Dwarf. It's been a long time since I got tipped. Even Vordos didn't tip me this good last night. We tipped way better than your friend. Here I am trying to fatten him up and give him the happy life, a halfling life, I guess you could say.
It's okay.
My mouth is hanging open.
If you need another place to stay tonight, we'll set your rooms up. Just let me know. I'll be here all day. All day I'll be here.
That's what I feared. I say as I get up.
I don't get out very much. So morning to noon to night, I just slave away here at the Lamb's Lucky Diner, But hey, that's the working life of a halfling, right?
I turn back to the table and I say to the others, I wait outside.
Well, Seda would stand up and immediately start rubbing her tummy and just be like, it's okay, I'm ready.
Steven gets up from the table and starts to follow Zan out.
You guys have a fine day now.
We will.
Outside, the town seems to be bustling pretty decent. The marketplace is filled with a bunch of different little stalls, and people are going about their business. A lot of them look like they are travelers that are passing through and stayed or having breakfast or whatever. Other ones look to be just basic townspeople going about their day. A lot of very nice little houses here, and simple, basic village, what you would expect.
Ah, the voice stopped, I say as I walk through the crowds.
Off to the side, as you guys are making your way down the path here towards the Woodworkers Guild, the little halfling would have told you where to head. It's pretty much just straight down the path. But you'll see Veridus off into the distance. Same sort of outfit he had the day before, but more of a bluish color, and his hair done quite nicely as he leans down and takes a flower from a young girl who's holding it up to one of these white little roses and smells it. He pats her on the head and looks like he's just having some words with her. And a couple other kids come running over and start playing a small little kickball thing with him. He seems to be just enjoying the community off into the distance.
I just nod in his direction if he happens to look up.
He'll nod, sort of wave, kind of motions around him that he's a little bit busy, playing ball with these younger kids and taking flowers from this little girl. But he does offer at least his condolences.
Condolences?
Or not condolences.
What?
Yes, for your leg, apparently. Offers a greeting, I guess.
Oh, no.
Not the word I was looking for, but...
So I would continue to go to the Woodworkers Guild.
As you get there, you can see that this place looks to be made of a different kind of wood that the entire rest of the town is made out of. It's very dark walnut sort of cover. All the grains in it are almost reddish shade, so it looks like just almost veins running through the woodwork. Seda, you can see that the architecture here is just absolutely immaculate. It might not be of dwarven standard with stone and iron and whatnot, but as far as the woodworking and craftsmanship is beyond anything you've seen outside of major cities or major architectural landmarks. Not very big, about the size of a large barn. Inside you can hear voices talking and the smattering of, it sounds like people hammering nails and grinding wood down and sawing and stuff like that.
So where would we find this druid here?
In the Woodworkers Guild.
Well, that's where we are now.
Oh,
So maybe we should ask?
yes.
Is there someone looking responsible for all of this?
As you kind of come up, the doors are hanging open. It's like a large barn, open right up inside. You can see about a dozen people quickly at work. Some of them are working with bits and pieces of wood, shaping it, carving it, some branches that they're cutting down and stuff. Standing around sort of in the middle of this talking to people, you see this oldest woman in there, so you kind of get the sense that's who the man who at least come to talk to you is talking about. And she glances in your way as you walk through the door. You see the bright blue piercing eyes. I got a picture of her too I'll throw into the chat over there. Human, looks like she's probably in her 70s or 80s. She's not hunched over, looks in fairly decent shape given her age. She's just very, very weathered. Her hair's pulled back into a small ponytail, bright white hair that kind of cascades down around her face, and a blue blouse. Hanging around her neck is a simple little necklace that has, it's sort of, from where you guys looking, it looks like some sort of orange stone, but you realize that it's amber, or just like some sort of dried sap that's been carved up into a small gemstone. She'll mention something to somebody, and they'll go bustling away and she'll start striding over in your direction. What can I help you with?
Oh, we're supposed to meet you here, I think. Are you the druidess, Marlis? Yes.
Not a druid, no. People like to call me that, but I just work with wood, and I've have one with nature. But
Oh, I see.
I can't cast spells or shape change and all that fancy mumbo jumbo. No, I just people think I'm some sort of magical nature druid or something. That's all hodgepodge. But what can I do for you? What can I do for you?
Well, I forgot his name. What's his name? We talked to last night. Herodis, yes. So this gentleman told us to talk to you. Maybe, did you notice some kind of change in the tree?
Looks around, says, come to my office. Perhaps we can. I don't want to rustle up the bergs here in the shop. She'll lead you off to the side and to the side room. Your friends can come too. She'll motion for Zeta and Tiva.
Yes.
Everything in this room is made out of the same wood. The chairs, everything's upholstered quite nicely, though. She'll take a seat. And there's no desk or anything, just kind of these chairs around in a circle, a druidic circle sort of feeling to it. She'll take a seat and motion for you. A woman of my age feels a lot of things. Pain in these old bones. She says, I have felt it. The wood is not as strong as it used to be, and I felt it in my stomach, a sinking feeling that something is not quite right. You can feel it too?
Well, not exactly. And I look to the others and I say, so the tree is a god. Or was.
Says, many people like to think of it as a god. Says, I myself revere the tree. You might even say worship it. And I'm not one to pray and be down on my knees, giving thanks to supreme beings, but I worship the tree like the barbarians worship the animals. We use it. We never let anything go to waste. We revere it and honor it. Worship might be a strong word, but we give thanks to it, for it offers everything here that we need: food, shelter, protection, home. That it's, as far as I'm concerned, it is a god.
I look actually with a pretty sad face at the others as I hear that.
Yeah, Seda would kind of be a little bit somber hearing her talk about it.
She says, what do you know of this? She says, I feel for the poor squirrel folk. I could see something is paining their hearts and isn't quite right. And I can feel it myself. I think perhaps even some of my workers know it as well, but I have to at least put down a strong facade and promise that everything will be okay. Because I'm too old to be traveling these trees and these branches, skimming the leaves to know what is exactly wrong, but I feel it. Is this something you know of?
Is it still alive?
Oh, most certainly it's...
Are you sure?
The tree is perhaps something wrong, but it says the leaves are green, the wood still grows, the branches, they reform. My guess is it's like a slow cancer or a blight of sort that slowly spreads. Says I haven't seen it. Says I don't exactly know, but I can feel like it's not quite right.
No. It has to be something instant. It's not happening over time, right? And again, I'll look to the others because this is as new to me as it is to them.
She says it's okay. The tree it still gives life. Flowers bloom, the moss grows.
Yes, but if it's got a cancer, it won't last forever, will it?
Well, that's the way it usually works.
She reaches over and tugs at Zan, and she goes, maybe it affects different ones in different ways.
Maybe.
Just something. I can't place my hand on it. I don't know, and I don't have the money or the time or the resources to send people out searching about these trees, and I don't even know what they'd be searching for, but something isn't right. Something strange has come to the tree, something evil, something beyond words. I can feel it. The Ratatosk are not right. There's something wrong. I tried to explain this to Veritas, but he didn't seem as concerned as I am. Most people aren't. They don't quite understand the ways of the tree and the world ash. Take it for granted. You know, people will be people.
Are you still able to perform miracles with your godly magic?
No, as I said, I don't have magic. I've never been a true druid of sorts. People mistake
not at all.
She says, but I'm not a priestess or a druid or one of such skilled individuals. My skill lies in the warping of the wood, in craftsmanship, and supplying wood, basically, here to the town. I pick out the branches to be lumbered, bring it back here, shape it, meld it, crafting these chairs, these homes, such things. But I can feel it. The wood, the trees, the leaves, they whisper to me. I can feel that something isn't quite right. I'm very in tune with nature without the magics, if that makes sense.
Tiva would look at the old woman and say, what would happen if the tree died completely?
Who could say? This is the world ash. Its branches stretch through everything. Its roots is what keeps the universe together. The branches hold the astral. Said without the tree, there would be nothing. It would be like sand drifting through your fingers. So it would all cease to exist. The tree is what holds it all together.
Is there like a... Do they have like a chalkboard or something there?
Yeah, paper, whatever you might need, yeah.
I lean back and I look a little bit sickly for a moment. And then I take like a pen and a paper and I start drawing and I make like a very stylized tree that I put in the middle, and I like put some dots around it, bigger ones and smaller ones. And I say, turning the picture around to her, so if this is the tree, are the gods dependent on the tree?
Not really, no. She'll stand up and walks over to a simple little hourglass and pops the bottom off of it and puts some sand into her hand. She says, think of it like this. There's gods. I'm not much of a strong religious woman. I believe they're supreme beings, and somebody must have created all of this. But they live everywhere. They're around. They create and destroy and do what they want. But our universe, the astral, the elemental, the planar universe, worlds. She'll look over at you, Tiva and Seda, and say, I can see that the both of you are from somewhere completely different than this, another realm. He says, but think of that as these simple grains of sand. Each grain is like a world or a universe, a plane of existence, demi-plane, pockets, whatever you may wish to call them. He says, and think of my hand as the roots and the branches of this tree. He says, without the tree, just sort of open up her hand, just letting everything fall out of it. She says, it'll be gone. Drifted off to nothing.
So the tree holds all of the different worlds together?
Exactly.
then we have to make sure the tree doesn't die. If the tree dies, we won't go home.
Oh,
It'll be much worse than that.
the tree dying is, well, I would assume it's impossible. It's been here since the creation of nothing. It is the one true thing. Something couldn't destroy the tree. I believe there's a sickness that's crawling through it. Perhaps some branches may die, or some roots, or something, and whatever is there will be gone. But I don't think the entire tree could cease to die. At least I hope not. What brings you here? Do you know more of this? Since I like I said, I can feel it, but I can't place my finger on it.
Well, there are gods that are dying, and if this tree is a god, then this god will die too. We've already seen several gods die.
What could kill a god?
We don't know, but we've seen it happen. In fact, Seda and I, we were right in front of one when she perished. Something killed it.
You were in front of a god?
We were.
Please excuse me if I sound scrupulous to this, but I've never met somebody who shared acquaintances with a god.
Well, we didn't know she was a god at the time. We just saw her as a halfling. But we found out later that she was actually the halfling god. I can't remember the name of her.
Pinfully Butterspoon.
Butterspoon. It was Butterspoon.
I'm not too versed in the way of the gods and names, but by the look upon your face's sincerity, then I have no reason not to believe you. That if something could destroy a god, then perhaps it could destroy the tree.
And it's not only one god. We know of several. And to her, I show our time god counting piece as well.
Uh-oh.
What uh-oh? Hello? What?
Did they freeze?
Oh. It looks very much like it.
Yeah, I think they did. I will let them come back. I'm going to run take a bathroom break anyway.
Yeah, same here. Be right back.
Are you guys back?
Yeah, I had to cut the bandwidth on the camera down a little bit, and then so I missed. We heard her say, "I show her a mic," and then that's when it got all robot.
Nope. Take a quick 2-minute break. I'm going to run to the bathroom, and then we all just pick right up, and I'll catch you back up.
All right, cool.
back. My coffee machine is the worst. It takes forever. Did they come back?
Yep.
Good.
Got it back up and running. I'm just waiting for them to get back to the computer.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, we're here. We just I'm just fixing a drink and chit chatting.
All right.
Yeah, I had to I don't know what happened. The piece has been great. I still didn't lose connection, but we just got slow, so I had to back the resolution of the camera down.
I mean, that can happen.
Yeah. So, Zan, you took out your stopwatch thing and showed the number. She'll look at that. I imagine you probably explain what it is.
Yes.
Just, dear. So says things perhaps are a bit worse than I thought. She says, if what you're saying is true, then the entire Outlands, the entire universe, the planes are in danger. She says, she'll sit back down in her chair, and you can see this tear sort of roll down her cheek. I fear that we're all as good as dead.
But that can't be the... I mean, there must be something that can be done.
I'm not the person to ask or help. I'm 87 years old and, honest, not much time left on this realm. Says I hope that I put in a good life and did the best. That's probably all we could do.
But now we might have some kind of clue. The question is, was the tree somehow poisoned or diseased, and that's why the gods are dying, or is every higher being targeted, and only the tree resisted longer?
It's hard to say, dear. Nobody can truly understand the way of the gods. Relics like the tree. There is no question that the tree is alive and sentient, but whether it's a god or not, I don't rightfully know. I said, if there's something out there that is killing other gods and destroying the tree, I don't know how one person as old as myself can help. Perhaps meeting with the Ratatosk leader, maybe he can. I wish I could offer more help.
Where can we find the leader?
Says, well, not too far from here, just outside the city. The Ratatosk pretty much harass anybody walking along the branches too long. If you can convince them to help them, that you're not a threat to the tree or to them, then they might be able to take you. He's an older feller. They're much more in tune with the tree than I am. They are one and the same almost. The leader of the local hive is called Glitter Eye, old wizened albino Ratatosk. Blind, but quite wise.
And what was his name again?
Glitter Eye, dear. Glitter Eye. I wish I could come with you, but these old bones aren't set for travel that sort of distance.
It's fine. We're grateful that we're being believed, especially because we're kind of being dragged into all of this. It seems to accumulate around us.
I don't know why one such as yourselves would take such a thing upon yourself. But
Well,
if you wish to help the tree, then I can only be grateful and offer my sincerest thanks. But I don't expect things from anybody. Just thankful to have friends and family, I suppose.
well, it wasn't that we chose this. It kind of just chose us.
I nod.
Yes, the fickle strands of fate have a way of doing that. I myself wasn't from here, but yet here I am, helping rise this town from the ashes it once was, and bringing it back to this booming, bustling little travel stop. I was younger, I lived in a realm called Renee's, land that was torn by war and famine. All the gods had left us. Just a simple misstep and through a portal, and here I was. My adopted mother raised me, and I simply took over. Here is the priest. This is as a loose term, because, as I said, I don't have priestly powers, but that's what the people seem to look at me as. And if that gives them hope, then I'm happy to help.
Well, thank you for your information. We'll try to find the leader of the Ratatask and see if maybe he can help us.
I wish you the best, dear. If nothing else, at least enjoy what time you have left. I mean, you shouldn't waste your time following loose strands and trying to fix the impossible. Sometimes it's better to accept than follow loose threads.
Well, I myself am not ready to accept that. So I'm going to do what I can.
Very noble of you. Maybe I can help at least in a little bit of a way. She'll go over to her desk, goes off to the side corner, and pulls out this long drawer that takes up the entire length of the desk, and reaches in, pulls out the small, looks like a small dagger, comes over and probably you, Tiva. She'll lean forward and hand you this little dagger that's sheathed. She'll unsheath a little bit, and you can see that it's simply made out of wood, just a small wooden dagger. Says, I don't know who of you is the best trained for such weapons. The dwarf looks quite capable, but this would be small in her hands. But at least, Tiva, you can take this. If it helps in any way, then I'm happy to have at least done something in your quest. It's enchanted by my mother ages and ages ago. It may only look like wood, but it'll slice through steel if you need it to. You just have to believe. She'll hand that over to you.
And Tiva accepts it and looks at it and says, it's beautiful. Are you sure? I mean, if this belonged to your mother, I wouldn't want to accept such a prize.
Jesus, no. I felt it when you walked in, even though you were hiding behind the haunches of the larger Borear, that you're destined for greatness, little one. It's something about you. I may not have much hope in the world surviving, but if anybody can do it, I think you can.
She takes it and she, being very grateful, she takes it and says, thank you so much. I will definitely use this.
I hope you find the answers that we're all looking for, and you always know where to find me. I don't get out much anymore. But head out along the branches, just further down past the portal. The Ratatosk's are always about. They're not in the best of health. They're a little confused and anxious. Perhaps you've seen it here around town last night. They took a couple of them out, but it doesn't take long for them to find you and harass you. If you can calm them enough to speak with them, then let them know at least I sent you on your way. I used to be quite close with all of them, but even I haven't been able to get through to them and see what it is that's troubling them. Perhaps it's all of this that you speak of. But Glitter Eye, if anybody could at least help answer some questions, Glitter Eye would be the one to speak with.
Well, we will definitely seek him out. Do you know in which direction we might?
Yep, she will grab a little piece of parchment and draw out a bit of a map and show you along the branches which to follow. She says, maybe a half hour worth of travel, if that. More like 2 hours if I was to go alone with you, because I don't quite get around these days as well as I used to. But one is such as spry and young as yourself, yes, maybe a half hour outside of town. You'll be into the small little enclave of the Ratatoks where they abound. And within no time, you'll be getting pelted by nuts, I'm sure. And I speak quite literally. They tend to hurl acorns at passerbys, so just be warned.
Oh my, maybe we should bring a shield with us.
It might well help.
I have one though, so.
Okay.
Oh boy.
Says, but I beg you, please don't hurt the small folk. They are not violent by nature, unless one is hurting them or the trees. But as I said, they're confused and not in their right minds. Please don't hurt the folk, though. They're good creatures. They intend for the best.
No, that would not be our intention. In fact, we had the honor of knowing one, and she was
Very sweet.
very extraordinary.
No, I like them a lot. They're very nice.
So no, do not worry. We do not wish to harm them in any way. We only seek their help.
Then, best wishes to the lot of you. If I can help in any way, please let me know. And don't forget to at least return and let me know what you found as well. Maybe together we can come up with something.
Thank you, and we will definitely, come if we need to let you know what we find out.
She'll stand up and wipe a few tears from her cheek and open the door for you. Best luck.
We need a lot of that as I walk out.
Yep, I'd follow behind her.
Yep.
Outside, the town is pretty much just as you left it. People coming and going and doing their things. You don't see Veritas over where he was anymore, but the kids are still out there playing.
So Tiva gets the map that she had given and looks at it and hands it over to Zam. I think you are probably better suited to look at this map than I am.
I turn it around a little bit and look for where we have to go.
Looks like a pretty straightforward map. It shows the town of Crux and a couple branching things here and out. And yeah, it's not hard to follow at all. If you had to guess, like you said, maybe 20, 30 minutes outside of town.
Mm-hmm. Well, let's go then.
Glancing up, you can't really see the sun or anything because of this huge layer of trees. You can see where the sunlight's gleaming through, and you get the sense that it's still fairly early morning, 8, 9 in the morning, so you have a good several hours before you have to meet Veritas back at the Lamb. So,
how long before we have to meet him?
Probably a good 3 hours at least.
Yeah, as long as we're not late.
Yep.
I don't want that man coming back after us. He was handsome, but he looked kind of mean at the same time. Seda would say.
Yeah, let's go.
Yep.
All right. As you head on out of town, you see a couple other travelers heading into town. They'll offering a nod as they pass by and head out under this archway that reads Crux and back down the branch, the same path that you followed here into town. Then in a few minutes, you're traveling up this branch once again. Behind you, down in the crook of the Yggdrasil, you can see the town. Off to the left, this branch goes off into the distance into this shimmering portal, disappearing. Good 20 minutes or so pass as you follow along with Marlis's map. And soon enough, this thick canopy seems to sort of start thinning out a little bit. I'll say Zan, since you may not remember really the Beastlands and stuff, but I guess all of you to a degree would notice that the tree seems to have a bit less healthy here. The less leaves, branches are a little bit drier looking, not quite right. In the wood itself, every now and then you'll see what looks to be a larger area, maybe 6 or 7 feet in diameter, of just the wood where it's really dry, grayish black, almost like it's been burnt or sort of dead looking. It's sort of pockmarked around on the branches here and there, and the trees, leaves thinning out. The first thing you will hear is the clattering of what sounds like metal. And everybody give me a search check.
Hell no.
Nope. I did not make it. Should be like 4 or something like that.
It's 3. I made it. Well, I don't know. I got a 3 in my search.
Yep. You got it. So, Satan or Tiva, you'll notice at first. Others will hear like this. It's almost like a twanging sound, like metal smacking onto something. But Tiva, you notice at first, up ahead, you will see what looks to be a Modron, one of these 5-star starfish-shaped ones you've seen back in Automata, that is sitting on a branch, and you'll see an acorn just come flying out of the tree limbs and smash into the side of this thing. All 5 faces kind of crunch up in horror as it spins around looking. It's got 5 arms, 5 faces, sort of starfish. It looks like a starfish. And it'll just hold out what looks to be this little sword that's waving around. This is data misconfirmed, data misconfirmed. And then you'll see another acorn just smash into the side of it, and it'll turn around waving its little stick, sword at it again. Data misconfirmed. Data misconfirmed. It's maybe 30 feet up the branch further.
Are you in trouble?
It'll swing around in your direction. Such is not a question for this unit. Please rephrase.
Are you being attacked?
Data misconfirmed. See another acorn smash off the side as it turns around again, waving its stick in the air.
Can we stop this for a moment? I say as I look up into the branches.
Stop what?
Not you. Not you. Hello?
It takes a few minutes to notice them, but you'll see there's 3 Ratatoks up in the branches above, hiding behind some of the leaves. Every now and then they'll pop out and hurl an acorn at this little drone unit that seems to be confused on what's going on. The Modron does not move or do anything. It just kind of, or I guess it's a pentadrone, spins around in circles, waving its sword, but it looks more like a stick that it has in its hand. The Ratatoks don't seem to pay you any attention, but they chitter and chatter almost mockingly and almost like laughter as they hurl acorns at this thing.
Hey, is that how you treat visitors? Where's Bright Eyes? No. What's his name?
Glitter Eye.
Glitter.
You see this one look in your direction, very mangy-looking, dark black fur. Its ears, one has been, looks like it's been almost chewed all the way off. The other one's still really pointed out. Will drop down and scurry along this branch. It still stays about 20 feet above you as it comes and creeps over the side of the branch, looking down at you. Moon and stars are my friends, but darkness is my number. The sun is bitter enemy, chasing away is no other.
Oh, not again.
All around sleepers, but never sleeping. All around thieves, but never thieving. Makes men blind, cannot be moved. I'm speaking. Hides men's sins, but cannot be touched. Answer the question, answer the question.
I forgot what he asked, I say to the others.
Can you hear us?
Mm-hmm.
Now, yeah.
Sorry, because we were looked like we were starting to break up again.
Nope,
No. What did you say?
Are you talking to us or the Radagast?
No, I'm talking to you.
Oh,
we started. You guys had started to break up again, so I had to back
yeah,
up.
we
Oh,
didn't
no.
hear anything that was said.
It'll scurry a little bit closer, and you can see that it waves in the distance. These other two Ratatosk, acorns in hand, stop to watch. The Pentadrone just keeps spinning in circles, waving its stick around.
Hey, careful, careful! I back up a little bit.
I'm thinking this thing is broken.
Well, no wonder when its god dies.
Oh, yes.
The other two Ratatosk will quickly scurry down, so you have the three above you, all looking down. All of them look pretty mangy. Their fur is just caked in what looks to be hardened sap or something really sticky. And they'll all speak in unison with one another. Moon and stars are my friends, but darkness is my mother. The sun is bitter enemy. Chasing me is no other.
Yes. Oh, is that a riddle?
Think so?
Say
But
that-
I've never been good at riddles.
Seda looks both of you like a deer in the headlights.
Darkness is their mother. Maybe that means that they like to come out at night, but then it's during the day. So why would they be out?
They look very confused.
Well, so do we. Okay, we need to talk to Glitter Eye because your tree is dying. Your god is dying, and
Oh,
we think
maybe.
Glitter Eye can help us.
Oh.
You'll see the two of them on either side of the one who's speaking, well, more presently anyway, stand up there, these acorns in hand. They're good head-sized acorns that they're ready to hurl.
Oh.
It kind of waves its hands in the air for a moment, telling them to stop, and chitters. And then it just leaps forward, coming to a stop directly in front of you. Zan stands up. It's probably about waist hand, about 4 foot high. Sniffs the air around you. What you know about Glitter Eye?
The what?
Glitter Eye, that's the leader.
Oh.
What
Well,
know you?
Nothing? He's your leader? We're supposed to talk to him. Here, your friend, oh, Jesus. Marlon? Marlon sent us.
All right.
She said you could, Glitter Eye could help us, hopefully, because your tree is dying, and if your tree dies, everything dies.
This thing will sort of... Looks like it almost has a seizure for just a few brief seconds. It kind of twitches and its eyes roll back before it snaps back to again, staring at you. What brings you here?
We just told you.
Mm-hmm.
The older woman, the older druid, sent us here because we need help to find out what is killing the tree. Your god is dying, and we want to help.
And while we're talking, I carefully walk over to the Modron, and I try to stop his slashing motions.
Just kick him off the branch.
Ratatosk stares at you, Tiva, when you're talking to it, and it looks really confused. You get the sense that it doesn't really know what you're saying, or it's not quite fluent in common. Some words it'll nod to, and other words it just stares at you as your completely confused look on its face.
So she's gonna look at it, the Radagast again, and just kind of look and just raise her voice and say, "Where is Glitter Eye?"
It'll tap its side of its head with one of these long nails. Start chittering like crazy up these other two in the branches, and they all start chittering back and forth. Before it quickly scurries down the branch, up a different branch, and up to where these other ones are. And they seem to be speaking in these hushed little clicks and words amongst each other, constantly giving a look back at you, Tiva. Off to the side, this little Modron just continues to spin around, swinging its Thing around. Insufficient data.
How big is he?
Pentagrams, they're about 6 feet tall, so it's fairly decent size. Large metal legs. Basically looks like a starfish, but it's been folded down on itself at the moment, so it's kind of closed up.
I try to get a hold of his stick. Carefully.
Yeah, it seems to be. Yeah, you can grab a hold of its stick without too much of a problem.
And I try to bend his arm down. Carefully.
It'll let you, all eyes sort of glance towards you. It's a change of directive for non-Modron units. Help this unit return to native Mechanus immediately. That is all.
I stare at it.
It stares back.
Why does everyone think we're their problem solvers? And I put an arm around it and I try to steer it into the group's direction.
When you say that, it'll look at you and say, "Such is not for this unit to question."
Yeah, that's all. I thought so.
Current duties for your units.
Save the universe?
Insufficient data.
You have no idea.
Such is not for this unit to expect.
Listen, you don't happen to know where that glitter eye is, right?
Such is not for this unit to question.
Yes, I know. Good. What?
Can we just? It wants to go home, right?
Yeah, like I know 3 of four.
Right.
Help this unit
want to
return to
do the
native
same.
Mechanus immediately.
So doesn't it have to get down to the ground to start the journey?
Insufficient data.
If you kick it from the tree, I kick you after him.
She folds her arms. She does not like the Modrons at all, so she just folds her arms and just like, fine.
It's lost like we are.
But it's
What's
still
going on up there?
assholes.
This Pentadrone will look at you for a few moments on, and this unit will accompany. It'll just quickly follow behind you. Always like 2 feet behind you, but stopping when you stop, moving when you move.
Hang on, we didn't talk about this, Burke. I had to turn around to him again. What does that mean, follow?
I think that means he's going to follow you around.
Like everywhere?
Sounds like it.
Oh.
Don't
Such is not for this unit to question.
If you kick it out of the tree, I'll kick
No.
it.
Are we in the tree?
Yeah, we're
I
up
thought
in
we
the
were on
tree.
the ground.
Yeah, that would be a long fall. A long journey to the ground.
That's the
Yes.
point for the Modron. Oh,
Listen, it's disabled mentally in some way.
The 3 Reditoss will clamber down. 2 stay behind, but the black furred one will scurry over. Put its hand. Yes. Follow Gunsa. Follow Gunsa. Quickly just jump away, scurrying down the branch.
Oh boy! I start galloping after him.
And I follow. Do you think he finally understands what we need?
We'll see! I shout over my shoulder. I
Behind
can't
you,
climb! Just saying.
Modrons are pretty fat, actually, the Pentadrone, since it has 5 legs, so it stays up with you pretty good, Zahn. All the while saying, this unit will accompany. This unit will accompany.
I know! I heard it!
It says, current status requires further observation. This unit will accompany.
Oh, bloody hell.
yeah, well, I'm assuming we're running along behind you.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to be running around laughing, going, you asked for it.
Listen, you fell on your head too, as you said, and nobody kicked you from the mountain? Wherever you're coming from.
I'm not being half as annoying as this thing.
I look back over my shoulder, not saying anything.
And I look at my arm. One of them. And then look back at Seda, knowing that she was the reason why one of my arms stopped working for a while.
Seda doesn't even acknowledge that you even looked at her. She doesn't even know you looked at her.
These Reditosk will lead you down the branch for a very little ways, but they much faster than you are, so they constantly have to stop, and they look back with these annoyed sort of looks on their faces, chattering. You get the sense that they're telling you to hurry up and to quit being so slow and such things, but finally you arrive at the spot on the tree. It takes on a much different look. Before, where some of the tree branches were thinning out and the leaves were thinning out, here it's much more obvious. Something large and this supernatural weight has been dropped upon it. The wood here is rippled into this huge circular pattern right in the center of the branch you're following. Almost looks like somebody has dropped a massive rock or something down onto the branches and caved it in and kind of shattered it out a little ways. Right in the very center of it is what looks to be a black, oily substance. And from there, it ripples out almost like water, filling this concave into the tree, this thick, black, soupy-like mixture. The most disturbing thing about all of this is the way that it's this black sludge constantly seems to ripple.
Does it remind us of the shadow things? Or is that something completely different?
Totally different because it's not smoky or shadowy or in any way.
Okay.
It's an actual liquid, but it sort of has this wispiness to it that comes off that reminds you of that. But it also almost looks like somebody, almost like if you took a huge rock and dropped it onto the ground, it'd leave the indent that's filled with this black, soupy, sticky liquid. And the little dark skin or black Ratatosk will scurry over, pointing at it and says, "This appeared many seasons, many ago, in the making mother tree sick.
Oh.
Who comes to the tree comes to those who touch with her. Evil has come to the tree. Evil has come to the tree. Make mother tree sick."
Many seasons ago.
That's not good.
God. This is what, sort of starts stuttering a little bit, and it looks like it has another one of these seizures, just like flops on the ground and starts spasming, foaming. You see the second one and then the third one all do the same thing for several moments before their eyes snap back in and they pick themselves up. Looks like they're just completely exhausted from this seizure that they had.
These are the Ratas people doing this?
Yeah.
Yep.
So Seda would lean down and just try to hold on to one of them while they're doing this, not in like a gentle and helpful way. And when he comes to, the eyes snap back or whatever, Seda would say, "Can you show us where this evil in the tree is?"
And he'll just point right at this pool. It's about 8 feet in diameter.
Oh,
This
I got you. I'm missing.
sludge. Says, "You speak with Glitter Eye." And it'll quickly just take off down the branch again.
Oh boy. And I run after it again.
Yes. This unit will accompany. And you hear the pounding of these little metal feet behind you.
Oh.
What do we got? Just a couple minutes, yeah. They will lead you a little bit further down this branch where it splits off once again, but where the more branches split off from the one that you're on, you can see that there's a hole that's been dug into the tree. The Ratatosk guides you down this tree. Let's see. Eventually, they will reach this small opening in the side of the branch, a space just large enough for someone to crawl through. You smell this sweet, heady smoke that sort of flows out of this thing, extremely sweet smell, almost like that beetle milk.
Yeah, that can't be healthy, I say to the others as we arrive there.
In this thick, amber-like sap just drips from the opening. You can see that's what these Ratatoks are covered in as well. It's not large enough for Zahn to fit through, but the three Ratatoss quickly dive into this hole and scurry down, kind of expecting you to follow.
Can we talk here? I shout into the hole.
Insufficient data.
Not you! Hello?
This unit will accompany. Yeah, they just quickly scurry down this thing, and you can hear them chittering inside, but they don't come back out.
You have to go in there.
Yeah.
I say to the small ones.
I don't get to see it, and I say, go in there and tell him that Zan's butt's too big to get through the hole.
And Eva nods, and she goes into the hole.
All right. I need a save versus poison, please.
Oops.
Shit, I should have been the one to go through there.
Come on, dice, don't fail me now.
It's like my best save, too.
Oh, I got a 16.
All right.
Nice. So yeah, if you scurry through, you're going to get covered in this thick amber sap that sticks completely in your hair, on your clothes. It makes everything really tacky.
Oh, disgusting.
Goes down about 10, 15 feet before it opens up into this little nest inside the tree branch. In there, you'll see these 3 Ratatoss you followed, as well as another older one that is completely stark white. These bright red eyes that seem to glitter in the darkness. You're a halfling, so you have dark vision. Yeah, there's no light down in here. And its eyes will just stare at you sort of blinkingly. And I think we'll call it there for the night since it's 6 o'clock.
Dang. Insufficient data.
Yes. Seda may have to come down there in case they ask you some really important questions where they need some brains.
I still have somewhat an intelligence, not like I used to have, but
You keep saying somewhat like you're not as smart, if not, you're on like the smarter side of human average.
You're smarter than me still. So.
You're actually decently intelligent. You're not dumb in the least.
Yeah.
On the other hand.
All right.